Okay, so you are very warmly welcome to the action. Um, this is the Kumasi Chess Classics Invitational, Kumasi Chess Club Invitational, whichever I prefer, KCC Invitational 2020. Um, Today is Thursday, the 9th of July. The time is 6 p.m. and we are officially beginning the launch with the very first match, dubbed the youth match between Mr. Rohan Sharma and Selikem Amoako. So the game's just begun. Like you can see, the first game of 5+3 is going on. We'll just talk a bit about it before I start commenting on the game itself. So yeah, it's really wonderful to finally begin this tournament. A lot has gone into the preparation, and yeah, very happy with the turnout, especially, and that you are finally able to start some games. I feel when we start playing games on the chessboard, a lot of the issues kind of disappear. As we are chess players, we really just need chess games to be played. And this particular match is yeah, it's one very interesting one that we only thought of arranging at the close to the very end because of a particular problem that came up. But yeah, once we did it, we realized it made a lot of sense, and we are very happy to have it. So we have our two youngest participants. I know Selikem is 9. Well, it was 9 as of December last year. I'm not sure how old Rohan is, but probably will be around the same age. They are both what we would call prodigies. They are very good young players. They are the hope for Ghanaian chess, and it will be very good for both of them to have some experience playing such a tournament, and especially playing each other first before they go on to potentially tougher pairings in the next round. Okay, I think that's enough rambling. So this first game has Rohan playing white and Selikem playing black. We had a French defense from Selikem. Rohan went for a slightly passive setup, not going for the usual pawn center with e4 and d4. The queens came off, and then yeah, from this point black has basically equalized in the center and started to press a little. So I think Selikem Rohan failed to protect his e4 pawn adequately and soon lost it, and the bishop got traded off. Okay, so here black is just a clean pawn up with little to no compensation for white. The pawn structure slightly favors, well, doesn't really favor either side. White gets an open file for his troubles. The troubles being, of course, having these doubled pawns. So that's fairly poor. So yeah, the main imbalance here is just in the material, and it's just a single pawn. So of course, he can come back from it. On the balance, well, the ratings themselves suggest that Selikem should be slightly considered favorites in this match. I haven't really had time to look through either of their games extensively, but I have played Selikem over the board, and I was extremely impressed with the young man's play. I'm yet to meet Rohan in person, but we have met through virtual means, and he's another very impressive young man. I think it's perhaps more balanced than the ratings would suggest, but of course the games will be played on the chessboard. So yeah, white will surely try and drum up some counterplay here. He has a little bit of pressure against this e5 pawn. He'll try and win it. Perhaps yeah, Selikem will push it to increase the number of protectors on the pawn. Maybe the knight will drop back somewhere, yeah, to g5 where it attacks the pawn once again. Could also have gone to d2 to achieve a similar prospect. Yeah, but I was about to mention that I preferred a square like h4 where it hits the bishop, because on g5 you can simply resact with a move like this, h6, and now it has to go to the ugly h3 square. By still doing fine, it has prospects of coming to a square like f4, and you're not too afraid of him taking, apart from him giving up the bishop. Yeah, you get a bishop versus his knight, and that's exactly what happened. It's still better for black for sure, but yeah, this particular change I'm not too unhappy with you. Double our rooks over here. We'll put our bishop on this d5 square, try and win our pawn back with ideas of f3 also coming in the balance. I wouldn't start with the move bishop d5 because he always has this e6. If you're not ready to take, he's going to sack you away. So I'd rather prefer to have started with doubling the rooks here on the e file. Yeah, this game is interesting. Yeah, we move like this, simple and calm. Again, asking questions of this bishop. So you better to have doubled on the e file before playing this bishop d5 move. That may be relevant. c4, wow, that's very committal. Isn't c6 just winning a piece now? Yes, so you have to try c5, and then what happens? Yeah, what happens? If the knight moves, the pawn does 4, so you're forced to take and take, but then you lose another pawn, and yeah, now the game is clearly going in black's favor. Now it looks very tough to get any counterplay. He's 2 pawns up now. He has a protected passed pawn here on the d file, ready to be supported by rooks. Pawn structure still in favors white with these double pawns that look like they could also drop off at any point. And he's shrewd enough to play moves like f5 to secure his pawns before going for any kind of win. So yeah, I fully expect black to pull through with this full point, unless something surprising happens here in the final minutes. You have a very nice turnout of spectators as well, 18 at the moment, which is very nice considering this is perhaps the lowest rated encounter that you will get throughout the tournament. So a pair of rooks came off the board. Slightly weak pawns on c6 and a6 for black, but it doesn't seem like there's much white can do about them. Yeah, also the b file that has white's weak pawns was just opened up, so he can go pick up those pawns as well. Still just completely winning for black. He should convert this without too much difficulty. Another thing that will really come to play here will be, I guess, the psychology, especially for such young players, perhaps not having much experience by the way of competition. They'll get to test out their psychology a bit here too. Can they come back from being down in a match? Can they swindle their opponent in a completely lost position? Can they go ahead to convert complete winning positions? These are all factors that are more important than you would think when it comes to competitive chess. It will be very interesting to see how they both deal with that pressure, especially the pressure of knowing that people are watching you play. That alone can be very stressful. Okay, so they entered a rook end game now. Black is 3 pawns ahead, still should be comfortably winning. I would have preferred a move like this, but yeah, his pawns on the queen side might both fall, but white has given up his final pawn on the king side, and even if you're just left with connected passes on the king side, that should be a comfortable win. And it's not even a given that he will lose the final queen side pawn either. So yeah, this should be converted comfortably by Mr. Selikem, who go up 4 points in the match. So the scoring system, for those that may not be aware, the matches are played over 3 different time controls. 5 minutes plus 3 seconds first, 2 games of that, and then 4 games at a time control of 3 minutes plus 2 seconds will follow, and then 8 games at a bullet time control of 2 minutes plus 1 second. So the idea is to really test the competitors across these 3 different time controls of both blitz and bullets. 5 plus 3 is really considered rapid. In even on, I think, other sites it may be considered rapid, I think, and because on average games can last up to about 10 or so minutes, which is usually the cutoff for rapid games. So it's sort of tests the competitors across close to rapid time controls, pure blitz time controls, and then also in bullets, just to have a nice complete feel of online chess. And also the more weight being given to the longer games, of course, makes them more relevant, so that it's not just a question of who is the fastest, but also who plays the better chess. So this is a mating one, queen h8 checkmate, or a8 depending depending on your preference. So yes, Mr. Selikem goes up in a game, has 4 points now, and they will start the second game. And this time he has white. Let's see the opening. He goes for 1e4. Sicilian quickly on the board. Okay. Is he going to play a Sveshnikov? That would be interesting. Okay, so d4, an invitation to the opening Sicilian. Rohan accepts and enters it. And e6. So I used to play these Paulson Sicilians, the Taimanov, the Khan. Okay, well, he has deviated immediately from them. And those would have continued with a6, but he went e6, going for a Scheveningen type structure. But he combined it with g6, which isn't something that you usually do. Because if you want your bishop here on g7, then you want your pawn not on d6 but on d7, where it's safe. But if you push your bishop on g7, then this d6 pawn starts to look a little tender, and that may become important in this game. Selikem has gone for also a very standard open Sicilian type position. He's played f4, queen d2, bishop e3, bishop b5, all fairly standard. Yeah, he plans to simply expand on the king side and attack the opponent's king, which is as straightforward as it gets in a Sicilian. Yeah, this move d6 is the only thing that sort of sticks out from black's position. With the pawn still on d7 and perhaps the bishop develops here on b7, I would say it's a fairly standard Sicilian position. But here I'm inclined to prefer white slightly, just because of that sore point on d6. I mean, it's very difficult to see how you defend this point adequately, because the bishop doesn't really have anywhere to go from here. So you probably have to start with a6 to try, and if it takes, then you're happy. If it doesn't, then you can try and remaneuver your bishop somewhere. Well, it doesn't seem like white is interested in attacking this pawn anyways. He's swinging his queen over to the king side, perhaps going for a king-sided attack. Usually in these Fianchetto type structures, it's slightly more difficult to attack the king side so directly. Maybe you need a slower plan with something like h4, h5, which takes a bit more time. But a few pieces have come off the board. The knights were exchanged, a pair of bishops have been exchanged. And I must say, black has done well in liquidating those pieces. Now there doesn't seem to be much of an attack, although wow, very nice tactics spotted by Selikem. I believe the idea is queen d5. He missed it. Oh, it didn't work. Queen d5 check, checking the king, and then winning the d6 pawn, because the knight was still on b5. Maybe he missed that. So yeah, material is still equal. The position looks a bit more equal now, though white is still clearly having the more fun in this position. The threat of f5 is looming. Can be played any day now. Free queen. Yeah, I missed that, didn't I? So queen d6 was a huge blunder. Knight takes e6 check, or even knight f5 check could have picked up the queen for nothing, but both sides missed it once. Rohan is taking some time now. Perhaps he sees it now. No, he still doesn't, which means knight e6 is still wins the queen. Yeah, Selikem finds it a second time of asking, and Rohan will have to try and come back from being a queen down. He just resigned. Okay, that's an unfortunate way to end such an important game, the last 5-minute game. So the scoreline is currently 8-0 in favor of Selikem as we head into the blitz time controls of 3 minutes plus 2 seconds.